Hey YouTube, I'm going to be doing the next 6 video deck profiles that I'm going to be doing are going to be the Hidden Arsenal deck types, starting with the ones that came out in Hidden Arsenal 5, Steelswarm Invasion, and now with the new Hidden Arsenal 6 Omega Exceeds. So these decks have been able to change a lot since the latest Hidden Arsenal came out. So I've changed all of mine and I'm going to be featuring them. So we'll start off, we'll do, let's see, we'll do Steelswarm first, because it's the most standard of them. So let's see, Steelswarm. Alright, Steelswarm. So to start off, Steelswarms are like Monarchs, they play very similar. If I had pulled the advanced zone, or whatever that secret rare is for Tribute, I would have probably tried playing it in here, but I didn't get it from Return of the Duelist. That's okay. One, Steelswarm Hercules. I may take this out for Steelswarm Longhorn, because Longhorn's easier to summon. This thing you have to tribute 3 Steelswarm monsters to get his effect, but with Steelswarm Genome, that's possible with just 2 Genome. So one Steelswarm Hercules, he's like the ultimate boss of he's the general of all the Steelswarms. One Steelswarm Cacastag from Hidden Arsenal 5. This was the main boss in the older Hidden Arsenal. Then Hercules came out and he kind of replaced him. He's like the general. So this guy's better, in my opinion. If you tribute him with 2 Steelswarm monsters, you can either destroy all monsters on the field except this card, or destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So he can either be a Heavy Storm or a Dark Hole, or like a Judgment Dragon kind of. So that's the second boss, and then next probably the most consistent and best of the Steelswarm tribute monsters, Steelswarm Girastag. You have to use 3 of him. This guy heals the deck, or he heals you up in life points. When you tribute summon him, you can tribute summon him using 1 Steelswarm monster, because he's a level 7, so he gets around that effect. His effect gets around that requirement, and then you can send 1 monster on the field to the graveyard to gain 1,000 life points. Actually, it's 1 monster your opponent controls. So you basically get rid of one of your opponent's annoying monsters, and you heal by 1,000. So very important to have 3. One Steelswarm Mantis, another tribute. I think this one is the one that when you tribute summon him, you can special summon a Steelswarm monster in your graveyard. And then one Steelswarm Moth, the last tribute. I probably need to fit a Longhorn in here, but I put Hercules in, and there's kind of too many tribute monsters. Might change it up, but one Steelswarm Moth, he's like a Penguin Soldier or Compulsory Evacuation Device. When he's tribute summoned, you can pay 1,000 life points to target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. And then for another boss monster, Dark Arm Dragon, because all the Steelswarm monsters are dark, so it makes sense to put Dark Arm Dragon in here. Next, 3 Steelswarm Cell. This speeds up the Steelswarm. Basically, you have no monsters, you special summon this like Cyber Dragon, and then you tribute for a Steelswarm. One Steelswarm Scout. Because I went with the Cell method, I'll only put 1 Scout here. Basically, this is the Treeborn Frog for Steelswarms. 2 Steelswarm Moth, or no, Steelswarm Caller. When you tribute summon a Steelswarm monster, you can, by tributing this card, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Steelswarm monster from the deck. So he calls out more Steelswarm. And then this card, a lot of people say this is a side deck card, but I think because it has 1850 attack, it's still viable in the main deck. Steelswarm Sting. This is so anti-synchro and fusion and ritual. When this card is sent to your graveyard, doesn't matter how. Target one face-up ritual, fusion, or synchro monster on the field, destroy. It's a mandatory effect. It will never miss timing. It gets over any of those type of deck types, with the exception of Exceeds types. So that's where this playability is hurt a little bit. It's still really good stats, really good. 2 Steelswarm Genome. This is the card. This card can be used as tribute for 2 tributes. It's treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a Steelswarm. So this is how you bring out Hercules. So basically this plus any generic Steelswarm gets you Hercules or Longhorn. Or no, not Longhorn, but just Hercules. And then this by itself can get you either Longhorn, which is not in the deck, or this guy. So that's why because of this, those cards are actually fit in the deck now. And then 1 First Steps Toward Infestation. This is really good when your opponent activates Dark Hole or something. You can return your tribute summoned Steelswarm monster to your hand and draw 1 card. Saves them from destruction, and you draw a card. So it replaces itself. 1 Allure of Darkness, because every monster is dark in this deck. 1 Book of Moon, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy Storm, and 2 MST. Those are the spells. For traps, 3 Infestation Tool. This is kind of like Foolish. This works like Foolish Burial. You can send one Steelswarm monster from your deck to the graveyard to target one face-up Steelswarm monster you control. It gains 800 attack until the end phase. So this helps mill stuff like the Steelswarm, the Treeborn thing, and it just gets all the weak stuff into the graveyard, so you can special summon them later with another card, like Call the Haunt or something. Infestation Wave, there's 2 of them. Return one face-up tribute, summon Steelswarm monster you control to target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So it's like Raigeki Break, and then it lets you reuse your tribute monster's effect when you tribute again. 3, Infestation Ripples. This is the card that is going to bring back your little guys from the graveyard after you throw them in there with Infestation Tools. So essentially, pay 500 life points to target one level 4 or lower Steelswarm monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. And then to get the bigger Steelswarms back from the graveyard, 2 Call the Haunted. And then 1 Mirror Force, 1 Ultimate Offering to speed up your tribute summons, and then 1 Torrential Tribute. That's the main deck. For side deck, it's pretty much any Xyz like Steelswarm Roach and anything you want to put in there like Utopia, because there's a lot of level 4s, and you could even put in larger stuff like, I don't know, like 7s or rank, whatever you have. So that's the Steelswarm deck. Hope you liked it. Rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks.